collectors and Masters of the Universe fans? Once again, it's the one and only Optibotimus coming at you with another video review. And on today's episode, thanks to all of the absolutely incredible contributions from my Optibotimus Plus channel members, we're going to be taking a look at the new Masters of the Universe Origins Evil Assault Vehicle, the Roton. Now, as I've said before, I absolutely love how Mattel is all in with these new Origin figures, including vehicles. So far, we've gotten the Sky Sled, the Wind Raider, the Land Shark, I guess you could kind of say Stridor as well. And now we have the Roton. And the best part is, it doesn't seem like they're done yet. For the packaging though, as you can see, absolutely gorgeous artwork again. You have the Masters of the Universe logo right up there, as well as this really nice silver logo showcasing that this is the 40th anniversary of Masters of the Universe, which we are celebrating this year. But this package is also massive, probably bigger than any of the other ones that we have gotten. This is really quite impressive. Again, the gorgeous artwork is present. You got Skeletor driving around on the Roton right there, but you also can see you have Cobra Khan right here. You got these weird dinosaur things kind of flying around. Don't really know what those are about. Of course, you got that very nice open package which allows you to see the vehicle. And then when you come around to the side, again, some nice kind of hints to what might be coming. You can see Screech right there. We do know that we are getting Zor with a new version of Teela, so it makes sense that Screech would be also coming out eventually. The other side here, you can see some more kind of snake men sort of things. And then, of course, I forgot the name of this, the Ripper or something. I forgot what that's called. But we saw this teased at San Diego Comic-Con. This vehicle actually seemed to come with Mechanic, though. But here we have He-Man riding it. But I do think it's been confirmed that we're getting this Road Ripper, or whatever, I think that's what it's called, as well as the Mechanic figure in a set. Which, again, super excited. When you come around to the back of the package, again, gorgeous art, Skeletor on there. Of course, you got Stratos. And yet another nod to something that we might be getting. You have Point Dread right here, which would make sense. We got Castle Grayskull. Point Dread would be one that they also could do. And then, of course, you got this nice, very cartoonish looking description and kind of demonstration of not really the action feature, but the fact that you can swap out some parts to make the Roton look a little bit different. Similar to how it looked in like the Classics line and such, but then homaging the original toy. And then obviously down here at the bottom, you got other figures that are available. He-Man and Skeletor from the 2000X series I'm not really interested in. Of course, you have the pig head right there, which another one I'm not interested in, but Mantenna is a real cool one, which you're going to get to see a review of fairly soon. But for the packaging on this, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get it out here and see how cool it actually is. Alright guys, so here we have the Roton opened up and out of its packaging. And right out of the box, you are pretty much ready to go. The only real assembly that's required would be installing these little side cannons and these optional extra pieces. Now, in the beginning of the video, I wasn't entirely clear. While yes, these do help to kind of make this look more like that Masters of the Universe Classics release that we got a few years ago, that was actually an homage to an original model kit that was released way back in the 80s that featured this goofy looking face and this roll cage sort of thing. That was later continued with the Masters of the Universe Classics release, and I love that they ported that over to this Origins one as well, because it gives you a couple different options. While this is how that original vintage toy looked that was released from the folks at Mattel, adding these can recreate the look of that original model kit that was released by, I think the company was called Monogram. So it gives you options in terms of what you want to do. Now, as I said, this is pretty much ready to go out of the package. These all are little stickers that come pre-applied, so you don't have to worry about it. One thing that I really love is that they're on here straight. A lot of times I hate when companies pre-install stickers because they never look good, and I am very anal when it comes to making sure that they are on there completely straight. Mattel did a great job with these, but you can see real great tech detail. Let me come in a little bit closer, you can see it. So you can see you got like some wiring detail there, some, I don't even know what that is, like scales, but more wiring and things of that nature. Gorgeous eyes with kind of a bloodshot sort of look. Now you do have controllers here on the, well, you have handles right here, but no internal kind of control panel or anything. I don't know if that's accurate or whatever, but what's interesting to note is these handlebars are a little bit kind of softer plastic kind of stuff, and that's true with these blasters as well. I'm not a very big fan of that because when you install them, you got little holes right here, put them in, and it locks in there fairly securely. I mean, I guess you don't have to push it all the way down. You could just put it there, and it's going to be kind of fairly loose. But pushing it down creates some friction. Now, what happens, though, is when you rotate it, I feel the softer material of it kind of warping as you rotate it around. So I don't know if I really like that all that much. Maybe if you don't put it all the way in, you're not putting that much pressure on it. It kind of holds it in place. But I totally feel the material of this gun kind of twisting in there. And like I said, makes me nervous over time. Just wanting to point that out. Now, in terms of creating that secondary look, you got some little posts here that line up with some holes. So you got some holes right here in the back. You just kind of find that, plug that in, and then you have some holes right here. Plug that in right there, push that down, and then same thing with this. You got some holes and some tabs. You just bring that in and push that in. And again, now you have that more model kit representation for it. Oh, it was pretty close right there, which looks great. I mean, it's really cool. And again, it allows you to have a couple different looks for this, which is really very fun. But for me, it's going to be this look. These pieces are going to go into storage. I'm not going to bother with those at all. But this guy looks really cool. Come around to the bottom. Now, one part that is also kind of disappointing is you can see that you have this little port section right here at the bottom. That's meant to be used with some of those display stands that we got with like the Wind Raider or even the Sky Sled. You can plug that in there and you can have it look like this is kind of floating around. It's not really meant to float around. I don't think it was like a hovercraft, if I remember it. I don't really honestly remember. And maybe it was a bit of a hovercraft, honestly. But you don't get a display stand. Does that bother me? Kind of, because I feel like it should, but you know, when you include these, kind of makes sense, because the price on this is like $25, $30 or something like that, and I feel like it's a good value, and I feel like putting in that extra display piece here probably would have pushed the price a little bit more. One thing that I will say, though, is that while that does disappoint me that this doesn't come with it, I do have high hopes that they will release a battle ram, which the Sky Sled attached to. If we do get one of those, that's going to mean that, you know, you can either have like the battle ram or the Sky Sled kind of displayed. For me, I'm probably going to go with the battle ram as my display piece and probably not have the Sky Sled out there. But that being said, it does come with that base, which I'll be able to use for this, which is going to be cool. Now, bringing in Skeletor, you can get him to sit. Now, this one here, you got that. You're just going to put that in there. Sits in there perfectly fine. You have a little handle section like I told you about. You can have them kind of hold this. Get this out of the way so you can kind of see what's happening. So you can... Skeletor. Here we go. Come on, get that in there. Something like that. There we go. And then this one, he doesn't have a hand, but you can see that you can get him kind of sitting around in there. Put these little blasters right in the front. And now you have Skeletor driving around in this. And again, absolutely love it. I think it's super cool. But the best part, and you might have heard it kind of clicking around in this whole video, these wheels on the underside here actually do create the action feature. This one doesn't do anything. These back ones do. So when you put it down and you rotate them forward, and that sounds cool. That little clickety clack. I love that. It is so nostalgic. It is so fun. Everything about this is an extremely well done piece that really does, for me, just evoke all those wonderful memories of being a kid in the 80s. I actually didn't have this in the 80s, so this is my first time owning this toy, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I love what they did in terms of carrying over some of those other elements from that model kit. The fact that it still has the action feature in there, all really very cool. This is a fun one. I know a lot of people are a big fan of this, and I'm super happy that they did it. Like I said, they seem to be all in, including with vehicles, which is why I really think that they're going to do a battle ram, because that was one of the most popular vehicles from the show. I know, like I said, that Road Ripper is eventually coming out, and I do believe it's going to be a 2-pack sort of thing with Mechanic, which is another fan favorite character. And after the Road Ripper and then the Battle Ram, I really don't know what other vehicles we could get. I mean, other than, I guess, Point Dread and that, I forgot that little Talon fighter or whatever that thing that sits on the top. But a lot of real cool stuff, really very fun and exciting. Absolutely, I would recommend picking this up. If you're into the Masters of the Universe figures, the Origin figures, this is one I would, without a doubt, track down. Now, the Roton here is currently hitting various retail locations. I think primarily they're showing up in Walmarts a little bit more readily. So if you are looking for them, good luck and happy hunting. Or as always, you can do the real simple thing and try online at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, or even Entertainment Earth. If you decide to go through Entertainment Earth, if you click on the link down in the video description, you'll head on over to Entertainment Earth, where a lot of times they offer deals on free shipping, and by clicking on my link, you'll get 10% off any in-stock order that you place. So if you can help to support the channel by becoming a channel member, clicking on those links down in the video description can also really help support the channel, and I would really very much appreciate it. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. And please remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you all for watching and taking the time to be a kid.